السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. Inshallah, we will continue studying this very, very interesting and section Araf, and there are various subjects have been dealt with here. Inshallah, we are going to benefit from them one by one. So we studied up to the verse 49. And so we have to go back what the previous one was. So the previous verse we studied was those who had possessed this ability of discernment will call out to those they recognize by their marks as evildoers, saying, how has your collection of wealth and all your false pride benefited you? Of course, this is a scenario we said last week that taking place in the hereafter, in the Day of Judgment. But we should say it is equally applicable to our life now. So those people who don't believe in God or don't follow a religious belief, they may look down at those people who believe, saying that, look, we are enjoying life. With our wealth, we are working hard, we are gaining a lot, lots of properties and wealth. But you follow a religion, you keep praying God, and you are not giving much. You are not enjoying your life. Of course, the believers are enjoying their life within in their spiritual world. They are being satisfied with whatever Allah gives them. They eat maybe not very highly qualified food, highly qualified dress and nice dress, but they are happy with what they are given. Whereas those people who don't believe in God, they follow for more. So it is so interesting. They follow for more. So what they do, they think that the wealth is going to satisfy them. So to make sure tomorrow also they will have these opportunities, these facilities, they have to just put on top of each other, amass, collect more and more in order to make sure that they will enjoy tomorrow, because they are not sure. They don't believe in the plan of the Creator. They don't understand that the Creator guarantees whatever we need. And we don't need much. The believers are not really greedy. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't work. But as much as they get, they are satisfied with it because they are sure that whatever is given to them is the, if you like, guarantee certificate that the giver of, the creator of this, whatever food or possibility, opportunities, small wealth, small amount of wealth, it is the guaranteeing guarantee paper, if you like, warranty, that the giver of this will really guarantee their rest of their life. They are not really hesitant. They are not in doubt and very, how do you say, for the future, anxiety, for worries for the future. But they work. Whatever is given, they are satisfied. The others keep worrying. They will never get satisfaction. And also, an inner war is going on within themselves. I'm collecting. Yes, I have the best house. Another house, for example. Yeah, guarantee if something happens to it, I will go to the other one. Guarantee.
This is a special type of believers.
Sorry?
Very special type of believers. Because many believers also are.
I mean, real. I mean,
Real.
yeah. I mean, we are not judging about people's belief, but at the same time, using the identity. But everybody, if they say I am a believer, they have to a certain extent belief, and that much they will be satisfied. That much they will be satisfied. You got the point. So, inshallah, we will understand that they will really be satisfied in their life, but the non-believers are going to face at the end of the tunnel complete separation, whatever they have. So this is the most frightening side of the matter. Their heart, their feeling will never get satisfaction, even they have billions of dollars in their account. Because at the end, they will die and everything will be left behind. They will disappear from existence. We are talking as the Qur'an talk. My friend made the comment here. Black and white terms. Good, yeah. Now, if you like, extreme points. Maybe practically extreme points are not really possible, but directions. If you are on the direction of belief, as much as you are certain about your belief, you will get that satisfaction. On the other side, as much as somebody is very arrogant against belief, enemy, for example, or indifferent, or a little bit doubtful, or maybe, I don't know, I'm agnostic, well, this kind of things, that much they will suffer. Well, agnostics, possible, maybe, I may enjoy it. Okay. Now, it helped us, this explanation helped us to understand the following verse. Now, this one. No. Oh, I was showing the wrong verse. All right. Now here. Nope.
49.
So 49, yes. هؤلاء الذين أقسمتم لا ينالهم الله برحمة ادخلوا الجنة لا خوف عليهم ولا أنتم تحزنون. So are these the ones, the ones concerning whom is believers, concerning believers, you swore that these non-believers.
The people of Araf are saying this.
No, this is I think no, not Araf. Yeah, sorry. No, why is it there? No, I was looking at the wrong. No, this one. Why is it that? What I was confusing?
This we were building on the people of
No,
Araf.
أصحاب النار قالوا ربنا لا تجعلنا من القوم الظالمين. We studied this earlier on. So here, why? Yeah. أعرفوا رجال yeah. Araf, people are Arafs.
Because they're seeing both sides. They're seeing the people of paradise and the people of hell.
No. Let me see, did I study this? I see. No, I don't think it is now continuing about the people of Araf. It is discussion is shifted between unbelievers and believers now. So, all right. Are these the ones concerning whom believers you swore that God would never bless with his mercy? Now, look at the believers now, enjoying paradise in the hereafter, but in the world, they are enjoying God's mercy in their feelings, within their feelings. But those people, unbelievers, will say, used to say while they're in the world, look, these guys, for example, they say, look at the horrible economical situation, maybe technological advancement is so, there is no technology, they are all dependent, looking down at the believers, but depending on the level of their belief, maybe some people say we are Muslims, but believers, but may not really be into it, into what religion. These are personal matters. I mean, we don't talk about personal matters or about people. We talk mostly theoretically, assuming that this is the 100% Muslim, this is believer, the other one is 100% not believer. So they will say that, look, you will never receive God's mercy because they don't see in this world. Maybe somebody is working as a gardener or as a, for example, laborer somewhere in the construction business. They may think that, look, this guy is suffering. If, by definition, if this person is really a believer and really a believer, he will never feel the sense of suffering. He will enjoy that I am making pure, permissible income, and I will feed myself and my family with permissible income, not tricky ways, benefiting from other people's labor. I'm not exploiting anybody's weaknesses, poverty. So he is comfortable. He's not feeling the sense of guilt, but he feels the sense of satisfaction because he is happy within himself with God, the creator of the little amount of whatever income, food, let's say food, income. So God says, for now the believers have been told enter paradise. God is speaking now. There is no need to fear or grieve. What we have to do here, rather than leaving the scenario in taking place or scene taking place in the hereafter, we have to get it here. Do you feel that when you experience belief, do you feel that this voice, udkhulul jannata, la khafun alaykum wa la antum tahsanun. Do you feel that? I'm not asking personally. Everybody here, do we really feel that in belief? Yeah, I am in Jannah in this world. Now, of course, my body is here and my feelings are not physically experiencing the paradise, but emotionally, sensually, they are experiencing the paradise. They are experiencing the paradise. You get it, inshallah? So we say that, look, when I am satisfied with the Creator, in fact, I am in the presence of absolute eternal being. So I identify myself with the absolute Creator. Of course, depending on my conviction, how much I'm convinced that I am experiencing paradise here, that I am before God. Always, for example, typical example is food. I am having my food. Am I seeing that this is presented to me with the grace of the Creator? No one can create whatever you are eating. No one can create them. Understood, inshallah. So,
I have a question. Chick, is this like traveling? Like, sometimes you've been to a place or you're excited to go to a place that you've never been before. And sometimes we can almost envision ourselves there, and it brings some sort of like excitement, or adrenaline, or maybe even some like euphoria just to envision ourselves there. We're not there yet. Maybe we haven't even gotten on the plane. Sometimes we feel this experience like when we just bought the tickets, because we feel like it's already guaranteed that I'm going. Is this the feeling that you're describing, like for the believer, whereas he's not in Jannah yet, but
I guess imagining things.
maybe it is imagining, as our friend says here, visualizing it. But yeah, it is a good image. I thank you, my brother Umar. It is a good image. Good is the very well description of the of paradise here, but the way Brother Omar, if you don't mind, described it in the form of hope and wish. Am I right? Hoping that this will be happening. So, for example, you got the ticket, as our friend said, you are going to get on a plane and you will go and visit your, let's say, family or friends or brother, sister, whatever, your family members. Let's say you haven't seen them for many years. You will be excited, correct. But before going there, when you imagine it, you cannot guarantee that whether an airport is going to have a crash or not. And also this imagination. But we have to understand that feeling in the presence of God is not imagination. It is, if you like, because it is feeling, experience in feeling. In fact, we experience everything in feeling. Think about it. So we don't really physically experience anything, just the feeling we get from it, and then experience it. Body, in fact, body never gets any satisfaction in itself. But the nerves bring it to your world, and you feel it. You feel it. It is hard. It is hot. It is cold. You feel it. So belief is not hope, is not wish, although there are some verses in the Quran, just I remember, but these must be understood that in this world, I experience the pleasure of the absolute creator as to be my creator. I experience it. This is what I really am convinced about, because we are talking about belief. Yes, really, when one really says consciously, there is nothing in this universe can create one grain of, let's say, bean. One grain of beans. No one can create it. So if someone is eating beans, he will say, look, the creator of these beans, this is not a hope. It is an absolute conviction. Of course, we have to, if somebody is following the tradition of religion, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, they may not feel it, but we don't know people's feeling. But theoretically, it must be in this way. So the creator, by giving existence to these beings, and the creator, by giving existence to the taste, if I am sure that it cannot come from matter itself, it doesn't taste anything, it doesn't know anything, it doesn't have any value in it at all. Even if I didn't have my spirit, including my life, but let's assume that a body is alive without any spirit. Can you feel anything? Look, even living body doesn't feel anything.
Touch something.
Yeah, it's feeling. So the nerves works, that is how the creation takes place, how the order of the universe is. Otherwise, if there was nobody, if I didn't have any body, it wouldn't communicate with matter. That is correct. But in this word, spirit, the representative of all our feelings, consciousness, intellectuality, intellectual abilities, reasoning, senses, any kind of senses. For example, I give the typical example, if somebody's eye is not operating, right? Although feeling wants to see, the feeling is there. If he is told that, would you like to see? Would you like to be cured? He will definitely say yes. Definitely will say yes, because the feeling is there in the spirit. Everything in the human body is because it is experienced because of the feelings. So we have to realize here that this feeling is not imagination. That is how human consciousness operates. So if I understand that in the beans, today's example, if I see the action of the creator, while I'm looking at the seed, the beans, I am assuring and confirming that God's acting on it right now. So it is not, of course, it was a good image, good way of understanding. So when I feel the presence of absolute in my interaction of this world, if someone says you will disappear from existence, I would definitely say, not I hope I will not. No, I will say, no, can't be. My source of existence is infinite, absolute. Can't be correct. So imagination, hope, wish doesn't work for belief. That was a good point, actually, to bring out so that we discuss this matter. I thank my friend.
So if I'm doing something,
Sorry?
if I see that the act is going on by God,
Yeah.
for example, I'm typing, I see the act of God.
Mhm.
That's an indication or a sign in my feeling that will tell me.
Even let's say my wife is cooking and I'm experiencing the smell. I say, I say, oh, I hope the dish will be ready soon and I am going to have it. Expectations. Expectations. It is not like eating. Eating, practicing it. Belief is not expectations. Confirmation, experiencing it. But someone may say, look, I cannot experience that. Not because your belief is questionable, because we don't know how we appreciate belief. So we don't really go through the process of belief in a, how do you say, not conjecture, not guessing, but confirmation. How is it possible? That is an interesting point. Only communicating with the act. If you see somebody is doing, he says he is an engineer and made this machine, right? And he is using it, demonstrating it, how he made it here by using the machine. How do you see? In this action, you are guaranteeing that this man is an engineer. Or this man knows how to operate it. You are not hoping. So as opposed to some people, although our friend gave the example not to emphasize that we are hoping, although we have to be careful about the language, it may infer in the Quranic language that they will hope. This is translated, they will hope, usually in English. But my understanding of those verses are like this one here. Not hoping, although maybe dictionary meaning of the word is to hope, to expect, to wish. But my understanding of the word, these kind of verses within the whole context of the Quran, not hoping. They are sure they will give, but they are in expectation of experiencing the real experience of it through a body which is going to be given, guaranteed. Otherwise, spirit is there, there is no body. Spirit cannot operate without body. So it is another conviction that really I am going to be given a body which will experience this. Definitely, not hope. Definitely. Otherwise, I cannot deny myself. I cannot deny the quality of my spirit.
In certain classical texts, they mention man is between hope and fear.
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
This is for forgiveness. Or before God that their belief is really pure, not mixed with hypocrisy or false claims, not God's belief in God, while if I am convinced about it. So I believe, but am I really believing it for the right purpose or for a wrong purpose? So if I am failing in something, whether God will forgive me or not, that is hope. God's forgiveness is hope. But belief, if it is something hope, it is not belief. So although I'm not saying the brother who brought this subject, it is very interesting subject, it's a delicate point here that it gave us the opportunity to discuss this. He meant hope, but the example infers this. That's why I wanted to clarify this. So inshallah, we are done with it. So let's say there are some things written in chat. Now the believers will be told, enter paradise, but not will be told. Come on. Believers have been taught, not will be. Right? But body, a new body, definitely must be given in the new creation, because new creation needs new, how do you say, means of interaction with the creation for the spirit, because spirit itself, the feelings themselves have no limit. But this body, for example, yes, I have the sense of eyesight, need of seeing, but this eye gives me only so much vision, not as much as I want. For example, my mind wants to be satisfied, but this brain through which my mind, my intellect works, can think of the matter only so much, not in its infinite form. Yeah, well, or our experience in this world, although the evidence is enough, but our experiential world in this universe is limited with the universe, capacity of the universe. But I want with no limitation. Inshallah.
Infinite satisfaction.
Yeah, infinite satisfaction. Because my belief requires, necessitates it. What is belief? Not there is a God created out there. No, there is a creator, absolute being, operating in front of me right now as he is creating me in my existence. So I was studying today some verses, and the subject was this. And I said, oh, it's a good example in the Qur'an. Very simple, very simple. We all know that yulijul layla fil nahari wa yulijul nahara fil layl. You know, you see that as if now nothing is changing, yeah? But we know that every day, the position of the sun and the earth and the moon is slowly changing, and the time for the length of the day nowadays, for example, is slowly, gradually getting smaller. What does it mean? Nothing is static. Everything is changing, and God is telling me, look, your position in your orbit around the sun is not fixed. It is changing. That's why the Muslim scholars realize that the solar system must be moving as well. Because this yulij al-layla fi al-nahari wa yulij al-nahara fi al-layl. And then he inserts night within the day. As, for example, nowadays, inserts night more and more, longer, larger and larger within the day, because day is constructing so that it is expanding. So they cannot independently acting. One of them is deceit. How do you say deceit? Contracting.
Diminishing?
Sorry?
Diminishing?
Yeah, meaning is diminishing. Well, it's called seed, it's the seeds or something. There is something with seeds. The word, there is a word for it. Receding. As it recedes, there is no gap in creation. The other one is taking place in the place that it left. That is called yulij. Yeah, merging, but expanding or contracting. Okay, so enter paradise anytime you recall your belief in God, presence of God, you are in paradise. In this world, within this world's condition. Bodily experience. But spirit is not limited. Feelings are not limited. Inshallah. There is no need to fear or grieve. Why? So لا خوف عليكم ولا أنتم تحزنون. Why there is no need for fear or grief? Now, can you imagine, for example, you have a boss, he has $1 billion. You have 1 million. So the more you get from him, ask him to give, what happens? It is property diminishes, gets lesser. Not 1 billion anymore, the amount you took, and then you know that it is getting lesser and lesser amount. No, you feel that it may finish sometimes. Yeah, there may be a recession in the economy and the value of money evaporates. So you may have, but if the source is absolute, by definition it must be absolute, otherwise it cannot be the creator. Do you have any fear or grief for anything you want? No, for anything you want about, I want a place like this. Imagine as you want. You know, if I want something more, he may not be able to create it. No worry, no grief, no fear. Absolute. The capacity of the feeling is an is evidence, is guaranteeing the capacity of the feeling. That capacity is endless and it will be satisfied as far as the capacity is concerned, endlessly. How do we know that? The one who created feeling in my existence with no limit, it means it is a promise, guarantee. He can do it, he will do it. So, shall we move? Oh, no, chat box. Let's see if there's something. Sleeping in a good example. Sleeping is a good example to get closer to understanding body feeling. Okay. Thank you. I don't know how it is related. So let's go. Let's move. So the people of fire will call to the people of paradise. Now, it is a sensitive point. Give us some water or any of the sustenance God has granted you. And they will reply, God has forbidden both, all of them, water or whatever the sustenance, or the water and sustenance, both of them, to disbelievers. Now we have to start from the end. Inna Allah haramaha ala al-kafirin. Disbelief, by definition, again and again, every time we have to mention, we are not talking about belief, people's belief or disbelief. Practically, this man, he is denying God, etc. He must have this feeling. No. By definition, we have to talk. Disbelief cannot accommodate in it any hope that will be satisfied permanently, temporarily in this world. But still, the feeling, it is important. I may be having a beautiful opportunity, whatever I love to have it, but feeling inside says, after you experience it, it will go. It will leave you alone. It is not guaranteed. As the materialists explain the existence of the perfection order of the universe, saying it is just the result of random happenings, haphazard happenings. Right? It is very interesting.
Life is good today, but tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Yes. And you may die, anything. That's why fear is inevitable result of disbelief. You cannot guarantee because the disbelief requires that or necessitates that after death there is no existence anymore. By definition.
Fear, you said, is
Sorry?
fear is an inevitable.
Yes. Fear definitely must be in disbelief.
Okay, by definition.
Non-existence, fear of falling into non-existence. I give this very simple example. I love simple examples. The Qur'an gives the simple examples as simple as possible. Driving a car, beautiful, you enjoy it. The scenery is beautiful, enjoy. Yeah. But definitely, but not because you are told that you may. No, there is no may. Belief and disbelief, by definition, there is no may. But some people may have, I believe in God, but I am hoping there will be an hereafter. This is not belief. This is, it is not denial either, but it is not mature belief. So, but unbelief is sure about the end of life, the people will fall into death. That is, by definition, unbelief. Necessitates it. But if someone says, yeah, I think there is no God, but, this absolute non-existence, people will die. Some people say, we will be transformed into another creature. This famous theory? And then some Eastern religious and doctrines claim this because it's the hope of continuation of existence, even in the form of, they say, frog. Still, you will experience existence. That is a very strong hope in human feeling that I must have existence. Death cannot be the end. So this man is driving but it is an absolute disbeliever. He is sure that while he is enjoying this, suddenly he will fall into a cliff. No brake will stop him from falling. Definitely fall it out of control. Okay, beautiful scenery. His wife, children, or I don't know, boyfriend, girlfriend, exactly, having a party in the car, let's assume this. How much do you think he will enjoy it? He will definitely fall into a cliff, not me, definitely. He knows, not because religious people told him, no. Disbelief includes in its nature how much this person will enjoy it while he's experiencing everything perfect.
Very bitter.
Sorry?
Very bitter.
The author of the book we study on Saturdays says, for the disbelievers, this word is like eating honey, but poisonous honey. The more you eat, the more you enjoy the taste of honey, the more you get poison, guaranteeing your death. But poisonous honey is not honey plus poison, no. Inside, you cannot separate it. So disbelief includes in it the poison, which destroys all the tastes that you are experiencing now, turns it into a horrible experience. That's why in this description, of course, a simple description, the people of fire disbelief. Here it is. What will call, not will call, nada, even past tense. Literal translation, but we have to understand the Quranic rhetoric. When a when a verb is used in the past tense, it doesn't refer that it happened in the past. But by definition of the grammar rule, it infers that is sure happens or will happen, depending on the subject. But nada ashabun nar doesn't mean really the people of fire will call to the people of paradise. According to the scenery, that is correct, because according to the scenery in the hereafter, that we are not experiencing that kind of physical experience, bodily experience. But when we apply it to our practical life now, and making sure that this verse is absolutely correct, telling the truth, we cannot say will then. The people of paradise call to the people, leave it in the present tense. Call to the people of paradise, give us some water or any of the sustenance God has granted on you. And they will reply, it means they reply, here it is, qalu, not سيقولون or سوف يقولون. No. قالوا. Past tense. إن الله حرمهما على الكافرين. This is very interesting. This is how we should study the Quran. Translations cannot really make it clear. And also, if you read the Quran in Arabic, even not the translation, even if you know the Arabic, if you don't know the style of the Quran or the rhetoric of the Quran, if somebody doesn't know really how the Quran addresses to ordinary people's feelings, the Quran has to give a description of the scenery in a way that the human beings can imagine. What will happen now? I see symbols are there. There are some people here who are the people of hell. There are some people there, just imagination, and who are the people of paradise. Then the people of hell are speaking to the people of paradise. In that, of course, they say God has forbidden both to the believer. It was forbidden water and sustenance to the disbelievers. Now, when we read this, because when the Quran says kafir or kafirun, kafirin, depending on the position of the word in the sentence, kafirun or mu'minun, we should never think of it in terms of people. As we are doing here, this is the definition of denial, disbelief. This is the definition of believer. And if the Quran says, Ya ayyuhan nas, this is very famous, all people, this is the definition of being a human being. Here, a neutral human being, if you like, free-thinking, open-minded human being. So the Quran gives the instruction, it means, all human beings, use your human qualities and listen to what I am going to do. Not human beings or not believers, not deniers or disbelievers, people. No, but practically speaking, we can say believers and non-believers. Theoretically understanding the message of the Quran, we should understand that why a man is called a believer. Because he has belief in it. If you take this belief, do you think he's a believer? No. What makes the body? What makes the body a symbol of believer in this world? The content of the body is belief. That's what we have to, although it is not our subject, we have to understand. The Quran says, don't take the disbelievers, or in other verses, don't take the Christians and Jews as your friend, protecting friends. Wali, it means not only your rafiq or friend, but protecting friend is meant as a protector, hoping the help from them. Who are they? Either, depending on the verse, Christian, Jew, the Quran mentions the names, and disbelievers. Disbelievers, kafirun. What does it mean? Not the body of the man. Not the man. Man is a cup. There is either disbelief in it, or there is understanding of Christian theology as it claims that God has some sort of appearance in the world. It means, the Quranic explanation, if you really read it carefully, you understand that the matter has some sort of quality, divine quality, which can operate in the form of Jesus. We can create miracles. Not God in Christian theology. Jesus himself created miracles. Quran makes it emphatically that it is God's creation. God willed it to happen through the demand or body interactions of Jesus, so that the miracle is a sign for his prophethood. You see this connection? Otherwise, never. For example, Prophet Muhammad, according to the Quranic teaching, never claimed that this is what I did. He said that's God created it. But the Christian theology wanted to sanctify a piece of this universe. But they say, no, it is God. How? God is within the universe. As if, can you imagine a piece of art? And the piece of artist is in it, in the art, a piece of the art. Ridiculous, but that's nothing. So Christianity has this misconception of God and misconception of things. Let me call it not creatures, but they don't. Atheists don't say creatures. The misconception of beings, the things, having some sort of divine quality. In Christianity, creator of the miracles. In materialistic world view, matter is acting by itself. You see this, why Quran describes, and the Prophet says it refers to Christian theology. Of course, he's speaking to people. He said Christians, but Christian theology. Christian theology includes in it the idea of any piece of this universe may have the power to create. Even miracles. Doesn't matter. It is a creation. So we have to understand this belief and wrong, the misconception of Christian theology, misconception of Jewish theology, whatever the misconceptions there, don't take these conceptions, wrong understanding of creation, wrong understanding of the definition of God as your protective friend. It means don't think of God as they do. So, for example, in Christian theology, what we understand, matter, to a certain extent, has the quality to create. And the kafir, it means unbelievers' understanding of the theory of existence, matter has the quality to act by itself. It might have been created by some unknown thing, they say. Doesn't matter. But it is now perfecting itself, evolving for perfection. That is divine quality, because somebody is acting by itself. So that is why we should not have this idea as they are having, in order to understand that my expectations will be fulfilled by some sort of intermediary of matter, a piece of this world, or in the language of the Quran, it is not called intermediaries. Yes, wasila, it is in the Quran. But the most common word is shafa'a, intercession. Intercession in the Quran, be extremely careful. Intercession in the Quran, not a man or something. somebody will act between you and your creator. It means your creator has created the world. Somebody will be in between, right? So when the prophetic sayings say, we are jumping to many other subjects, but these are really very critical points in understanding the Quran. Very critical. You may not heard of it now, but a fine reading will reveal it to you. Intercession of the Prophet Muhammad to his ummah. Ummah means followers. Following what? Am I following Prophet's body? He's dead. What am I doing? Ummah. Ummah means what? Following his footsteps, heritage, his teachings, experiences, the message he brought to us. So as much as you follow this message, you will be receiving the intercession. Believe in God. As much as you understand from the teachings of the Quran. If somebody doesn't really experience the teachings of the Prophet, how the Prophet is going to intercede? Do you understand? All the symbolic teachings of the Hadith narrations, symbolic teachings of the Quranic descriptions must be carefully understood, and we have to be really serious about it. So we shouldn't be carried away with just straight away literal translations of the verses, or literal, somebody may interpret it on literal understanding of the verses. Extremely careful, we need to be. Let me see. Afshan, let me read this. Does water have a symbolic meaning in this verse? Of course, this very practical description of hell in the word, that the people will be burning because of thirst. Thirst is something I experienced once, the whole day under very hot weather in Saudi Arabia. For a whole day, I couldn't find water. I was walking in a strange way. I love this kind of adventures, explorations. Couldn't find water. Being hungry is okay. That's why water is essential, because water, not only water, rain, usually likened to revelation. Example, of course, is rain gives life to dead earth, revelation gives life to your dead body. Yeah, but here, most essential human need, especially hell is described in the form of warm, really very, very warm, very warm, that you are stuffed because of thirst. So it goes along with this. So we have to understand most essential need, human need. I would symbolically understand if it is, I mean, symbolic means my imagination is I am burning for something, full satisfaction, and I get some of it. That is what the description is. So water is a little bit mercy, of God. Because it is speaking about absolute creator. So let me see. Yeah, practically we also see, if someone loses something, For example, let's say his or her beloved died or bankrupted. If a believer comes to him and says, look, don't lose your hope. You have a creator. If it is not an obstinate denier, you have a creator. He is just giving the opportunity not to depend on your wealth. So experience that wealth is not the source of satisfaction. It's a temporary thing. God is favoring you. I tried this. God is favoring you. The Creator is favoring you. He was so calmly listening. Calmly listening. By detaching you from the wealth that you thought it will guarantee your happiness. If there was no hereafter, you will die anyways. And you know that they call it accidentally. I don't believe accident anyway, but you don't believe either. I hope you don't. So accident, you can die anytime. You could have been dead. But it's a teaching. It is a teaching material. God's mercy is with you. Is a disbeliever, for example, if you say, go to hell, man, he will take it as an insult. He wouldn't say, I don't believe in hell anyways. But he will take it as an insult. It's a symbol in human culture. So I think we can. What is that? It is 7:10 almost. Oh. What is happening? What shall we do? Shall we stop here? I think today we mentioned many other subjects related to it, but how do you say, connected to each other. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.